But more importantly, this is where we are introduced to Anna Valerius, her corset and her smoking ass. I'd be lying if I said I didn't rewind to watch her intro again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what's his name's allowed to be a sexy dancer, and I can't rewind to watch Kate Beckinsale.
Yes, because dancing is a skill. Having an ass is not.
I beg to differ. She does Pilates.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
All right, the next is Van Helsing.
Yes.
I haven't seen this for a while. I have seen this a few times, though.
Oh, I watched it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally haven't watched it in like 10 years.
All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Today, we are going to preview, is it 2004 or 2005?
2004.
Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman, and
Kate Beckinsale.
Yes, I was going to say a very hot actress. Yes, Kate Beckinsale.
I'm here for you, Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. What do you remember about Van Helsing?
I remember loving it. I was very into it, into the action. I loved the actors who were in it. I remember it being campy, 100% campy. But I like that about it because it's also a movie about like vampires and werewolves and a hunter of those things. So, I mean, you can't really expect super realistic plot points. So I liked it though. It was a lot of fun and very actiony and funny.
No, I remember it's 2004. CGI was all the rage. Like we've already watched Ghost Ship. We talked about all those movies in the 1999 forward where CGI was just the thing to do. Mm-hmm. I know this movie back then got a lot of shit because it wasn't a horror movie. If you saw the preview, I remember thinking this back then. If you saw the preview, you could tell it's an action movie.
Yeah.
It's not a horror movie and it's a comic book. So I remember that. And Kate Beckinsale in corsets and leather. I mean, sign me up.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
She is still to this day one of the hottest women ever. And she's fucking hilarious.
And that's 20 years ago. And you've seen her in her, she doesn't look like she's aged.
Like fucking insane. She's a vampire. 100% she's a vampire. She looks fucking insane. And I love every time she does a guest, like a chat show, guest star, whenever she's a guest on one, I watch every single one because I'm like, she is fucking hilarious. So she's super hot and then super funny too, bitch.
Yeah.
If I was into women, I totally tap that.
Yeah, me too. Box office. Box office. Don't tell my wife. Box office. Here we go. Van Helsing. Yep. Came out on May 6, 2004. Why do these movies not come around like October? It had a budget. This is mind-blowing for 2004. 160 million. But we did discuss this with, I think, Ghost Ship. CGI was all the rage, and it was this new thing.
Yeah.
That just gotten better because I think the new Star Wars came out in 1999. But it's still very expensive. I mean, I'm sure it's very expensive now, but I think it was ridiculous back then.
Yeah, compared to the prices now, like now almost seems like super budget for it. You know, it's almost like the price difference is crazy. And also a lot of the people actually have like CGI artists can actually do the work from home now. That wasn't an option back then because you couldn't have a powerful enough computer at home.
No. So $160 million. It opened in 3,575 theaters at number one with a weekend total of 51.7 million. Its domestic total was 120 with an international total of almost 180 million and a gross just over 300 million. Probably not what they wanted at 160 million. Plus, I'm sure the marketing was ridiculous. But I did, when I was doing this, I did look, and it had on its first week of sales on DVD, it sold over almost 130,000 DVDs.
Wow.
Yeah. And then almost like 9-10 months later, it was still in the top 10 charts, and it was still selling like 10,000 DVDs. So between rentals and selling DVDs, I'm sure it worked out well. Not enough for a sequel. It did get a animation sequel, an anime sequel, but not an actual Hugh Jackman sequel.
Yeah, that's sad.
So let's go to the tail of the tape for Van Helsing. 2004. It is a fantasy adventure. It comes in rating PG-13 and is a little hefty at 2 hours and 12 minutes. Well, 2004, everything has to be about 2 hours and 3 hours nowadays.
Yeah.
But back then, 2 hours and 12 minutes was considered a little hefty.
Yeah, no, you were bitching about that because that would be a really long movie back then.
Yeah.
Now people are like, the movie was 3.5 hours long. And you're like, Jesus.
Yeah. And they wonder why people want to sit on their couch at home.
Yeah, because you don't have to like bother people to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Pause the movie to go to the bathroom. But anyways.
Taglines. A Stephen Sommers film.
That's not a tagline.
That's what they had. And I mean, I like Stephen Sommers. I like The Mummy.
Yeah.
I liked Deep Rise. And he also did the Resident Evil movies, right? With his wife
I
there.
believe he did.
Yeah. Like he's not making art.
Yeah.
But he's making fun popcorn movies.
And we love him for it.
Yeah.
We love him for it.
One Name They All Fear.
Ooh.
I like that one.
That one's a good one. That one's a good one.
Adventure Lives Forever.
Good. Adventure probably isn't the right word. I see where they're going with this. I think with a thesaurus, this could have been better. Yeah. But I like the concept behind it.
That was it.
That's all you need.
Synopsis. Famed monster slayer Gabriel Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman, is dispatched to Transylvania to assist the last of the Valerius bloodline in defeating Count Dracula, Richard Roxburgh. Mm-hmm. Anna, that name I couldn't pronounce, is Kate Beckinsale, reveals that Dracula has formed an unholy alliance with Dr. Frankenstein's monster, Schuler Hensley, and is hell-bent on exacting a centuries-old curse on her family. Together, Anna and Van Helsing set out to destroy their common enemy, but uncover some unsettling secrets along the way.
I'm into it.
Yeah. And there's the poster. I actually like the poster.
I love the poster.
Yeah.
It feels very classic, kind of, not necessarily horror, but almost horror fantasy.
Yeah.
Dark Castle.
It's not horror, but
Moon.
Comic book.
Yeah, comic book. It feels very comic book.
And for those listening, it says at the top, Adventure Lives Forever. There is something flying. I'm guessing it's a vampire. Bats everywhere. The castle in the background. Full moon. It's a very green tone on
Frankenstein's monster.
There's a werewolf there. There's Frankenstein's monster up top. Van Helsing is up front. Kate Beckinsale is beside him with a sword. He's got that dagger thing and a crossbow, and Van Helsing underneath with Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, top billing. The only thing that would make it better if you took Hugh Jackman and moved him right out, brought Kate Beckinsale forward, and build her in the poster. That'd be perfect. I'd hang that on the wall.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
All right. On to Rotten Tomatoes. I can't. Yeah. 224 critic reviews put this movie at 24%. Now I remember there's a lot of reading in this one. 250,000 audience reviews plus I have it at 57%. Now, the
Okay.
critics' consensus is a hollow creature feature that suffers from CGI overload.
I mean, that might be valid.
And these are the positives, and you may start.
Fantastic. Hugh Jackman stars as the sexiest Van Helsing to ever hit the screen. Even more impressive is the larger-than-life screen presence and physicality that keeps his character from becoming overshadowed by the incredible amount of CGI and monster effects. Debbie Lynn Elias, behind the lens, original score 3 out of 5.
The sexiest Van Helsing ever. It's an event movie. In every sense, the film has all the subtlety of a runaway train hurtling down the Matterhorn. But as entertaining junk, I did find it enjoyable. Ken Hankey, Mountain Express, original score 3.5 out of 5.
That was very honest, Ken.
Yeah.
The best classic monster movie of all time. I've had sex with all the mothers of critics and haters. All the critics. 5 stars.
This is now the audience, Rotten Tomato audience reviews, obviously. Yeah, this was Gene Siskel. I've had sex with all the mothers of critics and haters.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like that one. That was good.
That was good. Am I still going?
No, sorry. 5 stars. Who and the guy who did it?
Yeah, all the critics A.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's his name.
It's a campy monster movie. It succeeds admirably at being just that. It obviously was not intended to garner critical acclaim, but to entertain, and that it does. Dale P, 5 stars.
Thank you, Dale. It is what it is. A pure, corny, dumb, and wildly entertaining hat tip to the classic Universal monster movies of the 20th century. Unknown, 4 stars.
All right, Rotten.
All right.
I will start. This is one of the dopiest movies of the year. Richard Roper, Ebert and Roper.
Straight to the point. This movie is just too silly for words. Moira McDonald, Seattle Times. Original score, 1.5 out of 4.
By the final scene, all we care about is when Summers will wrap up his magic act and let us all go home. Jim Lane, Sacramento News and Review. Original score, 1 out of 5.
He sounds cranky.
This is audience now.
Now we're into audience.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's bad. It never lets up. The pacing in this is bad for 85% of the runtime, besides a 15-minute reprieve before the final fight. This is nothing but ridiculous fights, dumb scenes, and BS constantly. Red Tea, 2 stars.
Yeah. Awful, awful acting. Worse special effects. David C, 1 star.
David C, I'd like to point out that you misspelled awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and just so people know, I don't correct anything. If that's what they put, that's what I put. If you're an idiot, I champion you.
We encourage this.
Yes.
Nothing made sense. Nothing happened. Nothing worked. Nothing was resolved. Nothing was redeeming. And nothing is what's left in my brain after murdering all my brain cells by subjecting them to this, for lack of a better word, film. Unknown, half stars.
Yeah.
Not even a full one. Dang.
All right. IMDb has 281,000 user ratings, coming in at 6.1 out of 10.
Oh, not bad.
Okay, you may start.
00 Van Helsing, superhero. First, a word of warning. There are a number of people who would be best advised to avoid Van Helsing. If you dislike CGI, if you're a purist, if you're looking for something realistic, or if you're looking for a slower moving, understated film that's a deep character study, you'll more than likely hate this film. 10 out of 10. Brant Sponseller.
So if you're looking for, a good movie, this is not for you. The best bad movie you will ever see. 9 out of 10. Schmidt. 43444.
It may have been corny. It may have had overused its CGI, but hell, I loved it anyway. 8 out of 10. R. Datsun. That was beautiful, man.
People expect way too much from this kind of movie. 7 out of 10. B. Gormley, 04413.
Yes, be Gormley. Over the top, dumb fun, awful and entertaining. 6 out of 10. Hatchetooth.
A guilty pleasure. This is not what I would call a good movie. 5 out of 10. David Miving. We'll take you could take these.
I'm gonna take all of these. Okay,
Yeah.
so these are my 4 out of 10s.
Yeah, they're all 4 out of 10s.
Van Helsing against the cartoon people. That's from Ariel Ronnie. Hugh Jackman, call your agent. Airborne Ranger. Van Noying.
Nice.
Bob Bear. Van Boring.
Nice again.
Petrus Saints. Or Street. Dracula is not the only thing that sucks here. Fluke Skywalker.
Yeah, I couldn't pick one. They were all pretty good.
That's Van Boring was good.
Van Boring.
I like that.
I expected not good, but never that bad. 3 out of 10. Philippe B.
Yeah. That's amazing. I wish I had never seen this movie. 2 out of 10. Whirly 1.
And okay. Yeah. This is a long one. 1 out of 10. The Stephen Sommers Guide to Movie Making. 1. Ensure screenplay consists of little but a series of continual action sequences, none of which advance your story one iota. Number 2. Assume that your audience will be indifferent to character development and coherence, and ensure, therefore, that your screenplay contains neither. Number 3. Instruct sound people to turn all sound effects up to 11. No. Make that 12. Number 4. Tell effects people to lay on the CGI with a trowel and to make it look as cartoonish as possible. Number 5. Ensure sound effects people and CGI combine to guarantee Dramamine sales rocket. 6. Employ an epileptic woodpecker to edit your movie. Number 7. Refer sound people, CGI people, and editor to The Mummy Returns to give them an idea of what you're looking for. That's a nice job. Number 8. Laugh darkly and malevolently at the filmgoers who forked out hard-earned cash to have their taste and intelligence insulted by you. 1 out of 10. Vincent Elgar.
Malevolently.
What did I say?
Laugh darkly and malevolently. Something else. But I was like, no, it's malevolently. That was a lot of like.
Yeah, he put some thought into that one.
Wow, Vincent, you really thought you took notes, didn't you?
Yeah, my favorite was the epileptic woodpecker.
That was fucking funny. Oh my god.
All right. So we took a look at the box office. We took up the tail of the tape, and we looked at all the reviews, good and bad, critics and audience. The only thing left is to watch the trailer and then make our predictions. Let's hope I picked the right movie here.
I believe in you.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
I'm Helsing! You murderer!
Why can't you tell the world I work for you?
Because we do not exist.
My life, my job, my curse is to vanquish evil.
We need you to go to the east, to the far side of Romania, a land that is home to legendary creatures.
I see the Wolfman hasn't killed you yet.
Don't worry, he's getting to it.
Lorded over by Count Dracula.
It is a place where nightmares come to life.
I'm Helsing.
He's the first one to kill a vampire in over 100 years. I'd say that sent him a drink.
Now, a man without a past
Do you have any family, Mr. Van Helsing?
I hope to find out someday. It's what keeps me going.
will face an enemy that never dies.
In 1462, Dracula was banished to an icy fortress.
And then the devil gave him wings.
And uncover a secret he never imagined.
Castle Dracula.
Hello, Gabriel.
We have such history, you and I.
How do you know me?
From the director director of The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
Oh my God.
Hugh Jackman. Kate Beckinsale.
How do I kill him?
No one knows how to kill Dracula.
If you're late, run like hell.
Don't be late.
Van Helsing, a film by Stephen Sommers.
What's your prediction?
I think this is going to be one of the cheesiest movies I've ever seen in my life. I just hope the action is fun enough that I'm entertained by it. Because what I saw in that was not promising.
Yeah, I'm not going in looking for a horror movie. I'm not going for art or nothing like that. I'm just, I can see why it might have cost them a pretty penny back then. The set pieces are huge.
But also, like, half of those sets were CGI.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching that and I was like, CGI set, CGI set, CGI. Wow.
They probably would have saved money by building it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm looking for an action comic book movie.
Yeah.
Cheesy dialogue. As long as the action's there and it's fun and entertaining, and I'm not going, oh my God.
Again?
Yeah. All right. So we are going to go watch Van Helsing. And then when we come back, we are going to review it.
Fun.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat. And then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
Yay. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone was able to watch Van Helsing during the break. Did you watch Van Helsing?
Yeah, I did.
Your initial thoughts?
This is one of the cheesiest, campiest, over-the-top, melodramatic movies I've ever seen in my life. And I love it.
My initial thought, first, this movie tries to pack a lot in this movie. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ, is there ever a lot in it?
For those listening, when director-producer Stephen Sommers, before we said that, because I corrected it for the video for YouTube, but for anyone listening, I said that Stephen Sommers directed Resident Evil. That was Paul W.S. Anderson. That was wrong. Stephen Sommers did not do Resident Evil. But when Stephen Sommers pitched The Mummy to the studio, I remember reading that he was like, this is like Indiana Jones, but with The Mummy. And all those executives heard was Indiana Jones. And they were like, cha-ching. And so this was not, and they did Mummy, and The Mummy Returns did very, very well. So this was not a hard sell. They were hoping on a franchise this time around. Second, I could have watched Kate Beckinsale walk around in a corset for 2 hours. Maybe change it out with different corsets, some leather, flowery, some leggings.
They didn't even have to. 2 hours. She walked around in the same corset.
Yeah, they could have changed it up.
Scene.
Panties, some variety. I probably would have scored this much higher. All right, let's go through Van Helsing. Okay. In 1887, Transylvania, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, aided by his assistant Igor and Count Dracula, creates a monster. Dracula kills Frankenstein when he refuses to go along with the vampire's designs for the creature, as Igor, revealed to be under Dracula's pay, watches impassively. Okay, I went in expecting a comic book. I got a comic book. I like this scene. It looked cheap. Not cheap. Old, like...
It was very classic monster movie vibes. Like, there were villagers, there were pitchforks, there were torches, there was a mob mentality. It was all in black and white. And I was like, this feels very much like Frankenstein or Nosferatu. Like, it's very vintage.
Yeah. And I will say this, and I'll probably say this a couple more times. Igor was my favorite character.
Really?
Besides Kate Beckinsale in her corset. I like the Brides of Dracula too. Actually, cast was pretty good. Richard Roxburgh as Dracula.
Yeah.
David Wenham as Carl. But Kevin J. O'Connor as Igor, he was awesome. And he's in every Stephen Sommers, all of his movies, G.I. Joe, Deep Rising. He's the douche that betrays Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
Oh,
Him. Yeah, that's him.
He's awesome.
He is. And he's been in everything. Like, he's been in There Will Be Blood with Danny Day-Lewis, Gods and Monsters with Ian McKellen, Steven Spielberg's Amistad. But yeah, he's really, really good. But when Dr. Frankenstein is asking Igor to help, and Igor's like, "You're a nice guy, Doc, but
he pays me.
Yeah, he pays me. You're on your own.
You're real nice."
Yeah.
But he's the one that's slipping me some cash. So thanks anyways.
As an angry mob storms the castle, the monster flees to a windmill with Frankenstein's body. The mob burns down the windmill, seemingly killing the monster. Here's the plot problem, or the first one for me. Frankenstein, or the monster, was just brought to life. Yet he picks up Dr. Frankenstein in anguish and calls him father. Like, you've known this guy for 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah, but that's the whole point.
I've known my biological father longer, although not much longer. I've known my stepfather all my life. I wouldn't do any of this for them.
You wouldn't do anything for anyone. Let's be real.
Oh, that's true.
You're nobody nowhere.
But give me a 3-minute montage of Dr. Frankenstein spending some time with the monster, teaching it to walk, talk, taking a picnic, teaching him how to ride a bike, catching him smoking, something. Then give me the mob and him screaming father. I thought it was very quick and didn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway.
There's not a lot in this movie that makes a whole lot of sense.
That's true.
I think it's really just setting the precedent for the entire movie, where they're like, look, guys, so something that should happen over the course of 15 minutes in this film is going to happen in approximately 30 seconds. And then we're just keep on trucking because we got a lot of story to tell.
I think it was a reminder to the audience that this was his father. He created him. A year later, monster hunter Gabriel Van Helsing travels to Notre Dame de Paris. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Dr. Jekyll after a brawl with Mr. Hyde. I liked Mr. Hyde.
I liked him too.
I felt you wasted a huge character. Like, you're trying to start a franchise and you kill off a huge literary villain like fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It's it made me sad that was all we got for him.
Yeah, because he was such a douche.
It was literally a little bit of back and forth banter, some beating, and then he falls. And you're just like, and that's it? You paid that much money for that much special effects for that?
Yeah. You could have done a movie on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in Van Helsing.
Well, have you ever seen the movie The Extraordinary Gentleman?
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when I watched this. Yeah.
It was very similar.
Because at the beginning, because I was confused.
Or
I'm
Mr.
like,
Hyde, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, was this made in the same year? Would they just use like copy and paste?
Yeah.
But it was very similar to that. And I was like, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I think I prefer for their Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde moments. Because this, I was like, but it establishes in a very, very short scene that Van Helsing goes around killing monsters.
Yes. Yeah. And he has to watch them become human again. And yeah. Okay.
And he has the feels.
Yeah. I just thought he could have done a movie on him hunting down Mr. Hyde, while the other half is Kate Beckinsale and her lesser important brother.
Hey, don't talk about Will Kemp like that.
Hey, he ain't wearing a corset.
No, he's not, but he's...
And tighter than tight leggings, is he?
He's a very good dancer.
He's a second-tier character at best. A dancer?
Yeah. Dude, he was in... Was it the second Step Up movie?
Oh.
Or the third? No, you're muted, my friend.
I know.
Okay, there you go.
I don't think I've seen the second Step Up. I might have.
Oh, God. It was Step Up to the Streets, I think.
Oh.
And my God, it was one of the shittiest but best movies ever made. Ever.
But even if they just, instead of killing off, why not capture him so you can use him again? Anyways,
There's a lot that's an issue with this movie.
This is why I should go to California and become a movie executive. Save these idiots a headache and some money. Van Helsing pursues evil on behalf of the Knights of the Holy Order, which has protected mankind since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Van Helsing, who remembers nothing before he was found crawling up the steps of a church nearly dead, hopes to earn a pardon for his forgotten sins and regain his memory. But you don't even know if you fucking had any sins. You don't remember nothing. But they do this pretty quick and efficiently with Van Helsing and the Cardinal giving this whole backstory. That was fine.
I made a note about that where I was like, they really are very into this whole exposition through dialogue. Like, they will explain everything you need to know in a very, very quick, like 1 minute. I think that was just the whole point of this movie. We're going to give you 1 minute hits of stuff and it'll explain the entire story, but we're not actually going to show you all of it.
Action.
Yeah.
And wait, stop. Here's some plot point. Someone's talking. At the Order's Vatican City headquarters, Van Helsing is tasked with traveling to Transylvania, destroying Dracula, and protecting Anna and Vulcan Valerius, the last of an ancient Romanian family. Their ancestor vowed that his descendants would kill Dracula or spend eternity in purgatory. And then we're given like a James Bond and Q thing going all over the new gadgets, but in Victorian times with Van Helsing and Carl. Is anyone else bugged that this friar is called Friar Carl?
No.
Carl was even a name back then?
Yes, it's a very traditional German name.
Okay. I'm like, you might as well call him Fred or Bert.
He would have been a Friedrich or a Bertram if he was British.
Just Carl. It's like some guy you meet at the pub. Hey, Carl, how's it going?
Hey, actually, chances are he would have been upper class at this time if he was joining the religious orders. Yeah. They didn't really take the lower class ones.
And for being a monster hunter, Van Helsing has absolutely no knowledge of vampires. Nothing. I thought maybe at first because they were indigenous to Transylvania, but we find out later that they're all over Europe.
Yeah, no,
they get together, have parties.
He has a lot of no clues. He just like runs around shooting people, hoping for the best.
Just point me in the direction to shoot someone.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Transylvania, Anna and Vulcan attempt to kill a werewolf controlled by Dracula, but it falls with Vulcan into a deep river gorge, managing to bite him in the process as Vulcan shoots it with a silver bullet. The werewolf effects were a little cartoonish, but again, 2004, totally forgivable, and it was serviceable. Like, it was okay. It wasn't like
it was not a realistic.
No.
Like, you're not sitting there going, that looks like real fur.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like American Werewolf in London where you're going, oh, god damn.
But I mean, this is 2004.
Yeah,
this is where they were at.
20 years later.
It is very cartoony.
Yeah.
And I think that lends to the kind of ridiculousness of this movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But more importantly, this is where we are introduced to Anna Valerius, her corset and her smoking ass. I'd be lying if I said I didn't rewind to watch her intro again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what's his name's allowed to be a sexy dancer, and I can't rewind to watch Kate Beckinsale.
Yes, because dancing is a skill. Having an ass is not.
I beg to differ. She does Pilates.
And I'm sure she does it very well.
Yeah.
However, you don't need to rewind to check out her ass. She wears those tight pants through the entire movie.
I was pleasantly surprised by that. Yeah. I just rewound just in case they didn't, show it again. Van Helsing and Carl, a friar and weapons inventor, arrive at a village and join Anna's fight with the Dracula's brides, Verona, Mariska, and Alira, slaying Mariska in the process. So Van Helsing gets into town with Carl. Carl checks into the Econo Lodge because that's what Carl would do. The locals are not very welcome and seem to be ready to kill Van Helsing and Carl just for being there. Then sexy Kate Beckinsale says something in a half-ass accent. I don't care.
It's a terrible accent.
Yeah, when you look that good, it doesn't matter. Yeah. She could have used sign language for all I care.
Because you got to remember, like, they're supposed to be in Romania.
Yeah, Romanian accent.
None of this sounds Romanian.
No. Actually, she was the only one that even tried to have a Romanian accent.
Wait, her brother
Failed.
for the 3
her
lines
brother.
that he had. He tried to have a Romanian.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just British.
Yeah, they're all British. Yeah.
Oh God.
That's why when you watch those Roman movies, British.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact: Sebastian Stan is Romanian, and he actually speaks Romanian. So, and it's one of the 5 Romance languages. The things I know. Anyway, I don't know why. I was like, I feel like we need to like give respect to a Romanian because we're mocking all of the pretend Romanian accents in this movie.
We're not mocking Romania itself, just the people trying to pretend to be Romanian.
The people trying to pretend, and we're like, no, like, let's not. Kate Beckinsale and Will Kemp in this movie are not accurate representations of the Romanians.
Yeah. And she's like, we don't need your help, Van Helsing. And he's like, I think you do. And unleashes hundreds of mini arrows at a not so sexy Dracula's bride. FYI, Van Helsing can't shoot for shit. Like he missed nonstop.
I was like, sir, stop pulling the trigger. You're not hitting anything.
Nothing. You get
He's
nothing.
Shooting into air. That's it.
But I did like the scene, the vampires attacking everyone, Van Helsing being practically useless for the most part, cows being tossed into the building, Carl doing Carl-like stuff. It was good. But the sexy brides, because when they were monster form, not so sexy, human form, super sexy. One of them catches Anna. They don't kill her. They talk to her like forever. They were sent there to kill her.
But they're having long and involved conversations.
Yeah, because the second sexy bride shows up and I want to bite her. And then she's like, I'm biting her first. And I'm like, yeah, you
they're
go,
playing
girl.
With their food. They're
some
playing
girl
with
on
their
girl
food.
biting.
They're playing with their food.
Yeah, they're playing with their food.
Yeah.
And then the two argue. Van Helsing finally pulls his head out of his ass and kills one of the brides. It only took like, 1,856 arrows?
Pretty much.
To do it.
And Carl had to tell him how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Carl.
Meanwhile, farmers miles away are being bombarded and injured from hundreds and hundreds of fucking mini stakes falling out of the sky. Livestock
all of their livestock
dropping like flies.
Done.
Yeah, done. They're like,
don't worry, there'll be a sale on goats at the market.
Yeah, all because trigger happy Van Helsing couldn't shoot a barn door at 10 pieces. So Anna and Van Helsing argue about what they should do next. I voted for a bubble bath while wearing the corset. Carl goes to do some research. Anna's getting all hysterical, so Van Helsing has to slap her. No, that would have been funny. And if this was filmed in the 70s, that's probably what would have happened. But she's like, I'm going on my own. Van Helsing is, we need a plan. Finally, he vapes her with some sort of Victorian age roofie smoke.
The thing that would happen at the Hollywood party at the 70s, that's what happened.
Yeah.
She got drugged.
Yeah, the Bill Cosby vaping gun. Yeah. She wakes up later and she's like, why do I feel like I was groped? And okay, so she wakes up. She's alone. Sorry, Wikipedia has none of this. She's alone. She goes looking for Van Helsing, most likely kick him in the nuts for knocking her out. And now we are back to Wikipedia. That night, Velkin visits Anna to warn her of Dracula's plans, but transforms into a werewolf and escapes. Actually, he tries to kill her.
Yes.
Then the clouds cover, the full moon, and he reverts back to Velkin. I hate that rule. I would never use it in a book. If it's cloudy with a full moon, it's like constantly clouds going over the moon.
Still the fucking full moon.
Yeah.
When I realized that was why he kept changing back and forth, because they would be like, look at the moon. Oh, look, there's a cloud. Oh, no, he's back to human. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
They do that a lot of...
is the full moon. The clouds don't affect the moon's influence on the earth.
No.
Pissed about it.
Yeah. Partial covered, not covered, covered. The fucking werewolf would look like he's having a seizure.
Totally. But I guess they needed that in order to have the werewolf still have conversation.
Yeah.
I think someone must have been like, how is Velkin supposed to tell his sister about Dracula's plan if he's a werewolf? Clouds.
Clouds. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Someone give him a wallet to bite down. He'll bite me hand off. Well, you don't give it to him when he's a werewolf, you fucking muppet. You put it in his mouth when he's a human. Fucking Carl. No, Van Helsing and Anna pursue Velkin to Frankenstein's castle. They stumble upon Dracula's plan to duplicate Frankenstein's experiments to give life to thousands of his undead children using Velkin as a conduit. I like this thing, the scene. Everything is overacted when it comes,
100%.
especially the vampire, the brides. Oh my God.
Especially Dracula.
Yeah. But
I keep expecting him to burst into song.
Yeah.
Like it feels very musical theater, and then he doesn't sing, and I'm like, oh, is it not that part yet? But it's coming, right?
It felt like it. And I'll be honest, I remember this scene, but I thought it was at the end of the movie. And we'll get to that. I like the little monsters.
Yeah.
The little monsters in suits helping Dracula move shit around, flying around on zip lines. And
my first thought was they have their own version of Ewoks.
Yeah, or those sand people, those little ones that trade all the stuff. Yeah. Dracula confronts Van Helsing, whom he regards as an ancient rival. Dracula's spawn come to life before dying, lacking Frankenstein's original formula. And the brides, the two that are left, take them to town to feed on people while Van Helsing is catching up with Dracula. Anna is trying to free her brother. Van Helsing and Anna escape and stumble upon Frankenstein's monster at the windmill, who reveals that he is the key to Frankenstein's machine to give life to Dracula's brood. Eavesdropping on their discussion, Velkin, as a werewolf, escapes with the new information. The Frankenstein monster bugged me. Not the actor or the fact that he's supposed to be 9 feet tall and he's not 6 foot something at best. But all that money and effects, and no one could send this guy for like stilt lessons. You know those drywall stilts that just give you an extra 2 feet of height?
No, they couldn't.
What I did, they 160 million. We only have 160 million.
He was like 90% CGI.
Yeah.
So it was probably him standing there like, we'll make you taller with CGI. And then they were like, God, guys, I think we fucked up.
Yeah. But the whole my father part was far-fetched. The knowledge of a man or a monster that is only a year old is astounding. Like, but he knows a lot. How the fuck does he know all this shit?
He's been around for a year.
A year hiding in the windmill.
Yes, but I'm sure Dr. Frankenstein chose the best brain for him. And he wasn't hiding in the windmill for the entire year.
Like, this is where another 80s montage would have benefited this movie. Have Frankenstein stealing books, but he gets mad because he can't read. Then he dresses up as a kid and slips into school to learn to read. Him getting the gold star. On the playground playing dodgeball. He's the champion, just gunning kids down.
You know what they could have done that would have explained all of this? Frankenstein's monster literally just crawling out of the rubble of the windmill the day after, because then he escaped.
Yeah.
And then when he shows up again, you're like, he's doing something.
Yeah. I would want the 80s montage with like some memorable one-hit wonder music.
This movie could not be any longer. Okay? It could not.
No. In Anna's castle, Carl discovers a hidden painting of two rival knights. It comes to life, revealing the knights as a vampire and a werewolf in battle. While attempting to bring the monster to Rome, Van Helsing and his crew are ambushed by the brides and Velkin near Budapest. I did like this action scene on the horses and the whatchamacallit? Beautiful shots. And beautiful cinematography, panning back.
Yeah.
They're on the road flanked.
No, it was
I don't know how much was CGI and what was real, but
a good chunk of it was CGI.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now. Like, I saw some stuff where I was like, "Oh, that's kind of obvious."
Maybe giving it cinematography is maybe not the best word to use for it, but it looked good.
Yeah, no, it did. It looked good. It was a fun little sequence.
Yeah. Verona and Velkin are killed, but Van Helsing is bitten. Alira kidnaps Anna and offers to trade her for the monster at the masquerade ball. Van Helsing locks the monster in a crypt, but the undead retrieve him for Dracula. I guess that's the little people, or are the vampires? They look like real hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Van Helsing and Carl rescue Anna and escape from the masquerade guests, revealed to be vampires. This is where we get to see Carl's sun bomb that he just happened to be working on just as they were going to fight Dracula and the vampires. And he was like
the only one who knows how to fight vampires, so he's the only one that knows about sunlight.
But he even said, like, I don't even know what this does, but it does something. Like, I know as an audience member, I'm an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. It's not like I sat there going, well, it's a good thing you brought the sun bomb. Talk about convenient. Then Frankenstein is taken away on a sailboat, a wooden sailboat that I'm pretty sure Frankenstein could just rip the shit out of.
Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein was the doctor.
Yes, that's right. He's the doctor. He's the monster.
Yeah, he gets taken away on a sail. I don't even know if it was sailing or they were paddling. And then the cage comes down, and then Van Helsing screams out, he's going to catch him. He's going to get him. He's going to save him. And that's when Carl breaks it to him. No, man, you kind of got to kill him.
Yeah. I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah, and Van Helsing's like, but he's not evil. But he's not human.
Now, at Anna's castle again, Carl explains that Dracula is the son of Valerius the Elder. When he was killed in 1462 by the left hand of God, Dracula made a pact with the devil and lived again. Valerius was told to kill Dracula and gain salvation for his entire family, but unable to kill his son, he imprisoned him in an icy fortress. A fragment the cardinal gave Van Helsing opens a path to Dracula's castle. Another fucking lucky coincidence. The cardinal gave it to Van Helsing. He was like, I don't know what this shit is for, but you might need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been, I was sitting there, I was like, it would have been better if Van Helsing was like, fuck, I forgot it. And then you have that whole scene of them going back. Yeah. They find the monster who reveals that Dracula possesses a cure for lycanthropy. Lycanthropy?
Yep, lycanthropy.
That's werewolf. Because only a werewolf can kill him. How does he know? Like, was a 9-foot, 500-pound monster lurking in the shadows spying on Dracula?
It was, no. It was probably, they figured it out from the castle wall. The fighting thing. One was a vampire, one was a werewolf.
Yeah, they figured that out.
So they would know, because when what's his name made the deal with the devil doesn't make deals just by being like, cool. There are rules.
But Frankenstein's monster was like, hey, Van Helsing, save yourself. He really does have a cure. And Van Helsing's like, what? Oh my God.
Well, he's been lurking around Frankenstein's castle where
he's
Dracula was
9
working.
feet tall and 500 pounds.
And yet they didn't find him for an entire year. Look,
and you can't get to that castle without going through the whatchamacallit.
We can draw. No. He can't get to Dracula's castle, but they were in Frankenstein's castle.
No. When he was being brought in that chunk of ice and telling Van Helsing, they were in Dracula's castle by this time.
But they were doing with Velkin and also Velkin's father when he got toasty and was burnt to a crisp. That was in Frankenstein's castle.
Yes.
Because they went back to Frankenstein's castle and they're like, oh, they took everything. So I'm saying that's when Frankenstein's monster would have overheard shit or read it in a book.
And we also see,
we never got to see.
Yeah. And we also see that there are so many more pods with vampires in them at this castle.
Yeah.
Van Helsing, fighting the curse, sends Anna and Carl to retrieve the cure, killing Igor and Alira in the process. Wow, Wikipedia just skipped over a bit. Yes, Anna and Carl go looking for the cure with Igor. The best lines are from Igor. If there was a director's cut and had more Igor, I'd watch that. Van Helsing, he's turning into a werewolf, goes to rescue old Frankie boy there. Sexy Anna and her corset get to go get the cure because useless Carl lets Igor get the drop on them. And then who is it? Alira attacks Anna.
Yep. I thought
for sure when they're fighting, they're going to kiss. Maybe a little light tickling.
You want this movie to be a very different movie than it actually was.
Starts with a compliment on Anna's corset and just goes from there. But she gives the antidote to Carl and tells him to go. How did Carl get out? Like, I know they went in to look at it. Igor backed out, locked them in. Yeah. How did Carl get out? I think it was the monster. No, because he's hanging off the bridge when the monster goes swinging in to help Anna.
Yeah, but that's because when the monster goes swinging in to help Anna. Why can't I remember this?
I know. I did love Igor chasing Carl with the cattle prod.
That was kind of funny, yeah.
No, that was funny.
Felt bad
okay,
for
so
him.
We're not sure how Carl got out.
But he got out. He got out.
Yeah, he got out. And then he's going to get the thing to Van Helsing, and Igor's chasing him. It was like when he was electrocuting that werewolf, and Dracula was like, why do you torture the beast like that? And Igor's like, I don't know. It's what I do.
I don't know. It's what I do.
So Frankenstein is being electrocuted. Van Helsing is fighting Dracula. Frankenstein's monster gets loose, but how does he end up with Anna and the bride, who, for those listening, are not kissing or tickling each other?
Who, Frankenstein's monster?
Oh, he
falls, swings
in. Yeah.
He falls through the window, breaks them apart during their fighting,
and tells her to go.
And then he tells her to go to help.
First, he swings down, and Carl ducks.
Yes.
And Igor gets clotheslined.
He gets clotheslined and knocked off the bridge.
Right. And then Frankenstein's monster is like, help me. And then Carl's like, you're supposed to die. And he's like, I want to live. So he helps him. Then, yes, he swings into that part of the castle and
breaks them apart, fights the vampire.
Right.
We got this.
So Frankenstein is like, go. Anna swings down the bridge that is now broken, and she swings like Indiana Jones. Carl throws the antidote into the air. She catches it. Back to Wikipedia, and it looks like I got ahead of myself. Van Helsing attempts to free the monster, but is struck by lightning, bringing Dracula's children to life. Dracula and Van Helsing turn to their bestial forms and battle. Whilst both briefly return to their human forms, Dracula reveals that it was Van Helsing who killed him. Spoiler alert. And offers to restore his memory. Van Helsing refuses to kill Dracula after reverting back to his werewolf form, triggering his brood's death. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So he kills. What's his name?
Yeah, Van Helsing refuses the offer, kills Dracula.
Yes.
Once he's the werewolf.
And then everybody descended
right
to him dies.
Anna arrives and injects the cure into Van Helsing, but is killed by him in the process. I'll be honest. I totally forgot she died.
I remember she died.
Her.
I remember she died because I remember there was something super cheesy at the end. I'm like, isn't there like a...
yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah. So I was like, I remember the super cheesy part, but I didn't remember how she died. But I always figured she died because
I totally forgot.
She was related to Dracula. So she was just part of the curse. Not necessarily like through the interaction with Van Helsing. I refuse to think it.
I was looking at, I'm like, this is a fake out. You're not going to kill the actress with the corset. They did. Yeah, they killed the sexiest corset wear character in the whole movie. Van Helsing and Carl burn Anna's body on a cliff overlooking the sea.
Yes.
And you are correct. The faces in the clouds was so insert politically incorrect word here. Any will do. It was so goddamn fucking cheesy.
It was terrible.
Oh my God.
So terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
I was like, God, you guys. I remembered that it happened, but still, like, even when it popped up, I was like, oh God. Why would you do that? Why? Who thought this was a good idea?
And all those effects, you use an 80s fading effect to...
It was a glamour shots.
That's what I was looking for, a glamour shot. Yeah.
It was glamour shots. I was like, soft focus.
Frankenstein monster departs on a raft. Where was this dope going?
Nobody knows.
Heading out to sea. Like, for someone so smart, this was dumb. He didn't even have a sail on that thing. Just a paddle.
That's all he needs.
Like, dude, that's the sea. How far do you think you're gonna get?
That's all he needs.
Yeah. And Van Helsing sees Anna's spirit reunite with her family in heaven. Cringe. And then Van Helsing and Carl ride off into the sunset. And that is our movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
What is your score?
My score is Dream It. Because there is no amount of money low enough to pay for this. So, I mean, if you have the ability to watch it, I thoroughly encourage it. Because I will admit, like, the CGI for the time, very, very good. And this movie is so CGI heavy. If for nothing else, then if you're interested in FX, watch it to see the evolution. because you will see how realistic it is now, how advanced it is now, and just how good it is now. And you can definitely see that. I laughed in this movie, and you're not supposed to, but I laughed a lot. I laughed at all the exaggerated moments, the campy moments, the melodramatic, and especially, God bless, where is my Count Dracula? Oh God, who played him again?
Roxbury?
Yes, Roxburgh. Richard Roxburgh. He was so dandy gentleman.
Yeah.
As Dracula. I barked out laughter several times at him. And you're not supposed to. But I was down for it because I was like, this is entertaining to me. It's a fun movie. It's ridiculous. It'll cause you to roll your eyes. But it was an entertaining 2 hours. Like, I wasn't even, like, you end up watching it because you're like, what the fuck are you guys going to do next?
Yeah.
How are you, why? And you're into it. But I mean, don't pay for it. Don't pay anything for it.
No.
But definitely stream it if you're looking for something you and your friends can mock on a Friday night.
All right, stream it. Stream it with approval.
Yeah.
Okay, my score. This movie was a mess. It was easy to follow because it was written by a kid in grade 5. And then Frankenstein's like, father. Then the werewolf has control of his emotions until midnight, but not that one. Only Van Helsing. Then all the vampire babies are eating everyone, and then they explode like blood and guts. But it's green, and their mommies are like, no. It just tried to cram way too much into one movie, and it's not a smart movie. If they pulled back the range just a bit, made it a little more grittier, a little more suspenseful, they probably would have had a franchise. But what do I know? I do know they would have saved a lot of money. But overall, it was just all over the place. The acting was great for camp. Like you said, Dracula, you're looking at a daytime TV soap opera level of...
Yo, soap actors are more serious than this. They're better than this.
The story and pacing was stupid. The character development was, other than Van Helsing, was stupid. The action and set pieces were spectacular. The digital effects, for the most part and the time, were good. Some were overly cartoony in parts, but it kind of fit with the movie in a campy midnight monster movie way. The practical effects that they did use were great. Stupid story, no character development, has this big extravaganza of a movie with a lot of empty calories. But that's not to say that you won't find some nostalgia fun. I too say stream it. It's even just to laugh at it, mock it, enjoy the silliness of it. I would not rent it. I would not buy it. But if you have a streaming service that has it, which I did, I would stream it. Would I watch it again? Maybe down the road, but not anytime soon. But I didn't mind watching it. It wasn't mad or anything like that. But yeah, I'd say stream it for what it is, but just go in knowing what it is.
Yeah, it is a very campy, over the top, very surface level story. Don't think you're gonna get anything really deep or feeling or complex.
Yeah.
But it is a fun movie that is very over the top and a little bit ridiculous. A lot of ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of
Who am I kidding with the little bit? It is a lot ridiculous. But is it fun to watch? Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah.
If you suspend your disbelief, it's a fun little watch.
Yeah.
Is it a good watch? Not particularly, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And as long as you understand that going in, you're good. It feels very much like a 1940s monster movie. A little bit campy, a little over the top, very simple story. And that's it's just they crammed too much into this movie. And I think it could have been very different. But if anybody's looking for a good telling of Van Helsing, the series, I thoroughly enjoy it. There is a little bit of camp, but
Van
not
Helsing,
a lot.
the series. Which one?
Van Helsing, the series. You don't know? Basically, the apocalypse happens. And vampires.
Is this where the Van Helsing is a girl?
Yes.
Yeah, and the vampires. Yeah, that's not bad. I think I've seen season 1.
The vampires come up and they try to take over the world. And Van Helsing wakes up from a coma and she's all like, the fuck? And then action ensues. Sure, we'll say that. Action ensues.
Yeah, no, this was like, if you remember liking it, like you're not gonna like it more than what you remembered.
No,
you're not even gonna like it just as much. But yeah, and you're gonna laugh. There are some one-liners, especially from Igor, that will make you chuckle. You are gonna laugh at some other things that you probably weren't supposed to laugh at. But yeah, it's a stream it.
And I mean, you
Like
do get a small glimpse of Hugh Jackman's ass.
Do you?
Yeah, you do. At the very end, when she dies, he's wearing the pants.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you see a little tush, a little bit of tush.
Didn't see any Kate Beckinsale's ass.
No, but she had her tits up to her chin in a corset the entire time.
Yeah, she did.
Calm down. Give me Will Kemp in his little like torn pants and Hugh Jackman in his little torn pants, because that's all we got. Other than Frankenstein's monster running around half naked through the entire thing.
Yeah.
And also Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde. Yeah.
So but that was not a good look because digital ass crack, not attractive. FYI.
No. All right. So we got 2 enthusiastic streamers. Don't pay for this movie.
Do not pay for it.
But you'll have fun making fun of it. Yeah.
Invite some friends over.
Yeah.
And just run with the ridiculousness that was.
I watched it with my kids and they had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us while we watched Van Helsing and reviewed it. And until the next movie we remember liking. Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,